Good day to all of my students around the world. I'm here, Mr. Elizalde Mendoza, to teach the 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world. I will start my discussion with pre-colonial times, wherein I will show you literary pieces of the Philippines before the Spanish colonial period. Owing to the works of our own archaeologists, ethnologists, and anthropologists, we are able to know more and better judge information about our pre-colonial times set against a bulk of materials about early Filipinos as recorded by Spanish, Chinese, Arabic, and other chronicles of the past. Pre-colonial inhabitants of our islands showcase a rich past through their folk speeches, folk songs, folk narratives, and indigenous rituals and mimetic dances that affirm our ties with our Southeast Asian neighbors. First category is no other than riddle. The most seminal of these folk speeches is the riddle, which is tigmo in Cebuano, buktong in Tagalog, paktakon in Ilonggo, and patotdon in Bicol. Central to the riddle is the talinghaga, or metaphor, because it reveals subtle resemblances between two unlike objects. Here are some of the examples of riddles. In Bisaya, baboy sa lasang, ang tunok puro lansang. In English translation, a wild pig of the forest is covered with spikes. Another example is tigmo-tigmo agukoy, ugma rakita magasoy. In English, riddles made in the night will be answered in the morning light. We also have kabayo ni Adan, dili mo kaon ug dili kabayon. In English, the horse of Adam does not eat unless someone rides on it. We also have buktong in Tagalog, isang balong malalim, punong-puno ng patalim, a deep well that is full of chisels. Dalawang batong maitim, malayo ang dinarating, two black stones that reach far. Now let's proceed with paktakon. Ang dagat ginputos sang langit, ang langit ginputos sang tulan, ang tulan ginputos sang bulbol, ang bulbol ginputos sang panit. This one is an example of paktakon. It has Tagalog and English version. I want you, my dear student, to recite the Tagalog and English version on your own. All you have to do is to pause this video and start reciting the Tagalog and English version. But don't forget to resume the video right after you recite. Now let's proceed with patotdon in Bicol. Ira ko sa Maribeles sa irarom ang kiskis. In English, my fish in Maribeles has scales inside. Another example, kalibkib na lubi, nagiidos kumbanggi. Piece of coconut meat moves on its butt at night. Now, let's proceed with the talinghaga. Talinghaga is lupon ng mga salitang may kakaibang kahulugan. It is called idioms in English. Our examples are agaw buhay, which means between life and death, anak pawis, which means farmer, laborer, or blue-collar job, anak dalita, which means poor, alilang kanin, which means house help with no income or provided with food and shelter, balitang kutsero, which means rumor, gossip, or false story, balik harap, which means double-faced person, one who betrays trust. Aside from riddles, we also have proverbs in pre-colonial times. It is also known as aphorisms. It expresses norms or codes of behavior, community beliefs, or they instill values by offering nuggets of wisdom in short rhyming verse. One of the famous examples of proverbs is tanaga, a mono-rhyming heptasyllabic quatrain expressing insights and lessons on life. Here are the examples of tanaga, entitled kurakot, mataas pa, and sinag. Kurakot, inumit na sa lapi, walang makapagsabi kahit na piping saksi na itago na kasi. As you can observe in this tanaga, all the lines have 7 syllables each. And students like you can create an example of tanaga. Now it's your turn to create your own tanaga. I'll be giving you a moment and please continue to watch this video. Now I can see that you are working very hard to learn the lesson. Tanaga has a Japanese version which focuses on nature and environment. This version is called as haiku in Japan. After tanaga, let's now proceed with the folk song, a form of folk lyric which expresses the hopes and aspiration, the people's lifestyles as well as their loves. These are often repetitive and sonorous, didactic, and naive as in the children's songs or Ida-Ida of Maguindanao, Tulang Pambata of the Tagalog, or Canciones para Abing of the Ibanag. For your additional task, please grab a copy of these folk songs and try to read it on your own. You can pause the video and copy all the verses of these following folk songs. Let's start with the children's songs or Ida-Ida of Maguindanao, Tulang Pambata of the Tagalog, or Canciones para Abing of the Ibanag. Pupulayog sa papas ka pumagapas-apas, katulakin kon kobanog, nadiron po katalakin, kadaon ka sa kriti, kanogon si kanogon na kanogon niladan ko, pukurasay mamikir aana palandong ada, na di akong magkangod abulogang ko sa gugaw, kaoman akong ipantaw, na pusolakan aig, o makatao kandaliya. I want you, my dear student, to read this Ida-Ida in English. And let me know in the comment if you're done reading this. A few examples are the lullabies or ili-ili of the Ilonggo, love songs like the Panawagon and Balitaw of the Ilonggo as well, Harana and Serenade of the Cebuanos, the Bayok of Maranaos, the 7-syllable per line poem of the Ambahan of the Mangyans that are about human relationships, social entertainment, and also serve as a tool for teaching the young. We also have work songs that depict the livelihood of the people, often sung to go with the movement of workers, such as the Kalusan of Ibatan, Soliranin of the Tagalog, or the Mambayu of Kalinga. The verbal jousts or games like the duplo, popular during wakes. Here is the verse of the pre-colonial times lullabies or ili-ili of Ilonggo. Ili-ili tuluganay, wala diri imong nanay, katotsenda bakal papay, ili-ili tunuganay. Actually, it is not the original sound. I just make my own version to give life on the ili-ili of the Ilonggo. Now, it is your turn to sing the English version with your own version of lullaby. And for your next task, please answer this following question. Pause this video for you to copy the questions. Now let's proceed with the love song, Panawagon and Balitaw of the Ilonggo. Kukukukukukuko, kanta sa alimokon, kukukukukukuko, nga masidyahayon, kukukukukukuko, ay si alimokon. Kukukukukukuko, kukukukukukuko. May duha ka pipis sa kahoy nga tambis. Naghirup-hirupay kag nagkahaluk-halukay, napuno sang kasadya, kag puno sang kalipay. Now let's proceed with Balitaw sa panghayo nga mga sawa, Balitaw of marriage proposal. Kung ikaw dong mga sawa, si tatay ug si nanay maoy sultihi, kay kinsabay mo saka sa kahoy, nga sa puno ang dili mo agi. Matuod ikay mao ang bulak, sa usa ka maambong nga kahoy, dili ko maagi ang punuan, kon dili hagdanan sa imong kalooy. Now it's your task to read the English version. Now let's proceed with Harana or Serenade of the Cebuanos. And for this time, I will read the English version and you will read the original one. Oh, what sorrow to be deserted! Night and day I lament for you. Oh, my hopeless fate! Nevermore, no more joy. Oh, I wonder where you are. Please embrace this prisoner of sorrow. It is better to die, much better to die. so that I shall not experience this unbearable sorrow. Here is an example of pre-colonial times love songs, which is Bayok of the Maranaos. Please just appreciate all the lines in these songs and grab a copy to add in your compilation. Please pause this video to copy the lines and resume right after it. We also have Ambahan of the Mangyan, poems about human relationships, social entertainment, and also serve as a tool for teaching the young. And for your task, please recite the poems, give the context of the Ambahan in terms of sociocultural context and historical context. Now, let's proceed with Kalusan of Ibatan, which is a working song. These are songs sung in chorus by field workers, by rowing boatmen, or by men sawing lumber. The Kalusan aims to have rhythmic synchronization or unity in the movements of these workers. The content of these songs can be about farm work, about rowing or cutting wood, and its rhythm depends on the particular rhythmic demands of the work songs accompanies. And this time, I want you to read the original version of Kalusan Ibatan working songs. We also have Soliranin, which is a Tagalog rowing songs. Mambayo, a Kalinga rice pounding song. Now let's proceed with Duplo, the verbal jousts or games popular during wakes. The Duplo was a poetic debate by trained men and women in the night, which is the last night of the mourning period for the dead, held in the homes, and the theme was about a ring that fell into the sea. Here is an example of Duplo, which is entitled Ang Ibon ng Hari. For better understanding, please pause the video a bit while reading the text. But don't forget to continue right after you read it. We also have Tagay, which is a drinking songs. Ay liding liding liding, ay liding liding liding, uhaw tagay, kung walay sumsuman, ihawan ang hinuktan, uhaw tagay, ay liding liding liding, ay liding liding liding. I am thirsty, let us drink. I am thirsty, let us drink. If there is no sumsuman, kill the hinuktan. I am thirsty, let us drink. I am thirsty, let us drink. Another early songs in the Philippines is Anako of Bontok, which is about dirges and lamentations. We also have Parang Sabil, which is a love song. Our country, the Philippines, is also rich with the folk narratives. Epics and folktales are varied, exotic, and magical. They explain how the world was created, how certain animals possess certain characteristics. We have plenty examples of epics in our country way back pre-colonial times. Some of them are Lamang of the Ilocanos, Hinilowod of Sulud, and of course, Kudaman of Palawan. Relates the extraordinary adventures of Lang-ang, the hero of the epic. He is endowed with supernatural strength and has the power of speech at birth. Aside from Biyag na Lamang, we also have the story of Labaw Donggon, which is an epic entitled Hinilawod of Sulud. Next epic story is Kudaman of Palawan. This is one of the epic poems of Palawan province. And of course, we have one of the definitive epic story of Lanao del Sur entitled Darangin of the Maranao. And last but not the least, we have the Ulahingan of the Manobos. It is a local term that refers to a collection of stories done through chant. And there you have it, my dear student. You are now immersed with the pre-colonial times literary pieces of the Philippines. To stay connected, please subscribe on my YouTube channel and ring the notification bell.